And at the end of the day, we have to be motivated to do our jobs, to do them well. Some of us, it is our calling. Some of us, it's a job. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter when you're being evaluated, does it? Someone is going to sit up here and evaluate. So along the way, how can we get motivated? How can we be excited about what we do? So 10 ways that we want to talk about today. Communication, teamwork and collaboration, lead by example, define your mission, create a positive work environment, manage everyone differently, make work fun, self-reflection, stay personally motivated, embrace change. So we're going to really tackle those. Are you guys ready to do that? Yes? Okay. Now I was told earlier you broke up into 9 groups, correct? Okay. Can you do me a favor and can you all get in your groups which you broke into before? Here's your structure, whatever works for you, that's what you want to do and you want to do it well. Well, let's take a look at that communication piece. Talk about face-to-face. We've come a long way from the cans, right? But communicate frequently. Communicate effectively. Listen proactively. You guys brought that up, right? Sure. Give respect. That was brought up. Very important. A lot of us sometimes, and that's where the diversity piece comes in because of the fact that we all communicate differently. Sometimes people assume, well, you were just being disrespectful to me. Maybe sometimes there's something else going on. It just could be culture, how a person is. So sometimes you want to clarify that. And if that's a problem, bring it to that person, and maybe you'll just find out that's just not what's going on. Don't gossip. I know we say, hey, we're not supposed to do that, but a lot of us sometimes, we don't realize it, but we could be doing some gossip. Right? Don't assume. So many times we assume, just like with an email or text or however we communicate. Oh, I thought they, no, be very clear. And I think you said, did you mention about being clear about that? And most of it, create trust. Because a lot of times we miss that piece. And when we are communicating properly and we're communicating with respect and we're listening, we're communicating, we're giving some trust to that. All right, that's number 1. Number 2. Oh, sorry, the last one. Understand that not everyone communicates the same. That kind of goes back to what, right? Really, really important on that piece. Because we can't make everybody the same. All right. Number 2, teamwork and collaboration. Where's my teamwork collaboration people? Woo-hoo! All right. Teach us.
Okay. We answered the questions. Why is it important? Teamwork and collaboration. We come up with a list. We have teamwork and collaboration are very important for sharing ideas, for giving positive energy, for growth, because we're feeling like 2 heads are better than 1. To share different perspectives, for supports for each other and be open-minded, for keeping all of the balls bouncing at the same time. If it's not solely your responsibility, you have somebody else that will step in when one ball isn't bouncing and you're over here working really hard. Also to use as a check and balance. So everybody still, has that motivation and support and for everybody in mind. And it also enhances productivity. And then we zeroed in on how is it important in the positions that we do as compliance monitors. And we use the teamwork and collaboration, and we made a list in our case conferences or manifestations for multidisciplinary approach to evaluations, for the general ed teachers and other staff members and other faculty, because we talked with them. And
so if that's helpful, then let's get that written up and share that, because what we can do is we can share that knowledge, and that way it's helpful when we do our jobs, right? This is the sort of stuff I'm talking about, bringing to the table. How can you use it? How can you utilize it? How can you make your jobs easier and better? Not work hard, right? So if you have a reflection of that, that is a beautiful thing. So good job. Give them a hand. like nothing. But promote unity. So you got down to the nitty-gritty of it. I'm going to do the kind of the scaling, right? Promote unity. Very important, especially with collaboration. Make yourself known when you go to your buildings, right? Make yourself known with your colleagues. Be personable about it. Because you really can't promote unity unless you're also approachable, right? So all these things are very important. Be inclusive. Bring people in. Invite them in. Create a culture of ownership. Very important for us to do that when we want to get people on board and get them to do their jobs, right? It's even important for us to do our jobs just in general. Create a culture of respect. That's again in here. Because without that, you can't work well with people. You can't even have a teamwork. How many of you have been in a group and you're just like, oh, you with this one in the near branch just to jump off of, right? I'll just go now. Expedite this. Welcome new methods, and this is what it's all about too. So some of the stuff may not be new because we've done it, but maybe it's new to somebody else. So also understand that too. Recognize strengths. So many of us have so many talents in this room that we're sitting on. We're really afraid that somebody's going to know what we can actually do. Because then they're going to like zoom in on us. But that's your opportunity to shine. Bring it to the table. Let people know what you have. And reminding ourselves with this team that we have, we're on the same team. We're doing this together. This is our goal. So why not make it fun along the way, and why not do our very, very best? All right? That sound good? Just add in what you did. You guys already did the fantastic work.
To do myself.
Okay.
And sometimes we have to prove that to them by showing them, this may be really hard for you and this may not be like your forte, but, either we could work on it together or let me show you how to do this. And then next time you'll have that example to follow.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. So let's take a look at this real quick. Be consistent. How many of you love that when it's somebody that's leading you? Consistency. Don't you like that? The worst thing in the world is when you've got that leadership, and even in yourself, you already know more than I do, when you're not consistent. And we know that. So that's really important. Be an active listener. That's pulled back in there, right? Because if we're going to lead, we also need to be able to listen. Leaders are also what? And good followers. Get everyone motivated and engaged with your leadership style. Now, sometimes it's hard, but at the end of the day, it benefits who? If you're the leader. It benefits you, right? People are more engaged to want to do something for you when you can pull them in. You're listening to them. You're consistent. You're following through. Be effective and timely. I think we all can say that we've been a little guilty in this area, right? So we ask ourselves, how can we kick it up a notch? To have that what did you say again?
World class.
Woo! World class, I like that. World class. So these are really good things that we can do to make it better. Obtain buy-ins from people when you're working with them and negotiating with them. So is that good for you? What's your name?
Bruce.
Bruce. So Bruce, is that good for you in getting that document to me by Thursday? Does that work? Are you sure you need any more time? Friday morning, 7 a.m. Thursday's good? Rock on, I appreciate you. All right. Getting buy-in, because sometimes we just assume, I don't know why they didn't get that done, and I know they got my email, and they've got, get buy-in from people, and find out about, what works for you. If you get them to say it, then I think they're going to want to respond to you a whole lot better. Obtain that commitment when you're doing it, because he already said, what, sure? So I'm going to assume he's going to do that for me. Give clarity. If you're just not sure that Bruce said he's going to do that, ask him once again, Bruce, is that good for you? So these are the kind of things that I think are very helpful in addition to what you already said. All right, before we move on to that, anything you want to say on that at all? I want you to also think about this when you talk about lead by example. I want you to think about the very best supervisor, the very best manager, the very best coach, whoever it is that you've had in your life that really you look up to, that has influenced you to do what you do. You got that in mind? Raise your hand. Everybody have one? Okay. I want you to think back on that. Sometimes that's where you can pull your strength. Because when it gets tough and it gets rough and you get tired and you're wore out, find a way that you can recharge yourself and say, you know what? I remember what that looked like. I remember what that felt like. And I want to be an example of that and reflect on that. Just little tricks that you can do to stay in the game. Because it's not easy every day to get up with a smile on your face. It's not easy every day to engage people. But first, you got to be the one to motivate and engage yourself.